So let's talk about gratitude. You've seen it everywhere, right? All over your social media, your wellness blogs. But what's the deal? Is this actually a life hack, or is it just a hashtag, a bit of hype?
Yeah, is this whole gratitude thing a real life changer? Or is it just another social media trend we do for a quick hit of validation? Well, to figure that out, we're going to dig into the science, look at some real-world benefits, and I've got a pretty cool story to share.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're just scrolling through Instagram and boom, hashtag gratitude, hashtag blessed, hashtag thankful. It's everywhere. Everyone seems to be so grateful all the time. But the real question is, does just typing that out, does it actually do anything? Okay, so let's put the hashtags aside for a second and actually look at the science. Because believe it or not, there's some really fascinating stuff happening in our brains when we practice gratitude. We're talking about a real, measurable impact on our brain chemistry.
So it all comes down to two key chemicals that our brain releases when we genuinely feel grateful. And these two, they're the power players that make us feel good. Dopamine and serotonin. You've probably heard of them. Neuroscience shows us that feeling grateful literally flips a switch in our brain's reward center. It's like, boom, a flood of these feel-good chemicals. It's basically a natural mood booster that's hardwired right into us, designed to make us feel happier.
And it's not just about feeling happy in the moment, you know? The benefits aren't just in your head. We've got studies from places like Harvard and Psychology Today linking a consistent gratitude practice to real, physical stuff. We're talking better sleep, less anxiety, even a stronger immune system. That mind-body connection, it's seriously powerful. Okay, so the data is pretty cool, right? But data is one thing. Stories are what really make things click. So let's step out of the lab and into the real world, because I want to tell you about how this can actually play out. So, a friend of mine, right in the middle of lockdown, when things were pretty bleak for a lot of us, he decided to give this a shot. He started a super simple habit. Every single night before he went to sleep, he'd just write down 3 things he was grateful for that day. That's it. And at first, he told me it felt, well, kind of weird, a little pointless, almost like a chore he had to check off his to-do list. He was honestly wondering if it was just a big waste of time. And I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling, right? That initial skepticism.
But the thing is, he kept doing it. He stuck with it. And after about a month, something totally changed. He told me his stress was way down. He was actually sleeping better. And, this is the big one, he started seeing his life from a whole new angle. That tiny little habit, it became a total game changer for him.
But, and this is really important, there's a catch. His story points to this absolutely crucial piece of the puzzle. It's not just about what you're doing. It's all about how you're doing it. There's a huge difference between just going through the motions and actually feeling it. Think of it like this. On one hand, you've got checklist gratitude. That's where you're just writing stuff down to get it over with. Okay, coffee, my dog, the sun, done. That is a pretty minimal effect. But then there's felt gratitude. That's when you actually stop for a second and feel the appreciation. That feeling, that is what creates the real change. That's what gets those brain chemicals flowing.
So, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we do it effectively? How do we get to that felt gratitude and not just stay on the surface? Let's talk about how to actually make this work in your own life.
All right, here's a super simple 3-step toolkit to get you started. Step 1, do what my friend did. At night, just write down 3 small things you're grateful for. Seriously, they can be tiny. Step 2, say it out loud. Actually thank someone in your life, a friend or family member. It's amazing what that does for both of you. And step 3, try starting your day with a quick 2-minute gratitude meditation. Just focus on what you're thankful for. These little habits, they add up to something big.
So, you see, gratitude is way more than just a hashtag. It's backed by science, it has real potential to change things for you, but only if you're willing to go beyond the checklist and actually feel it. So I'll leave you with this. The question isn't just, what are you grateful for? It's, how deep are you willing to let that feeling sink in?